If you're trying to find a quality travel stroller and are overwhelmed with all the options, then this is the video for you. We're going to be comparing the UPPAbaby Minu V3, the Inglesina Quid 3, to the Joolz Aer2, and hopefully helping you decide if one of these travel strollers is right for your family. If you're new here, I'm Emily, I'm the stroller mom. I'm a mom of three, a car seat passenger safety tech, and I provide honest reviews of strollers and baby gear from a mom's perspective as a mom who actually uses the products. I have tested all of these strollers and I'm excited to give you a rundown of what my experience has been with each of them. If you haven't already, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and shop through the link below because I do have a discount code for one of these strollers. Now, this video is made in partnership with Inglesina. However, honest reviews are something that's super important to me, and in fact, the brand's not even seeing it until it goes live for all of you to see as well. Now, these are three great quality and incredibly popular travel strollers on the market, which is why you're probably watching this video trying to decide which one is right for you. They all offer a lot of features at different price points. So we're going to kind of break it down high level across all the things you care about as a parent. But if you do want a more in-depth review, be sure to check those out on my channel because I do have one for each of these strollers as well as several other travel stroller comparisons. Now, let's start out with price. With the Inglesina Quid 3, the most affordable of the three travel strollers in this lineup, retailing for $399. However, I do have a 20% off code, which brings it to around $320. See that in the description below. But what you get for that price is the stroller, as you see here, along with a bumper bar. It's the only stroller of these three that includes the bumper bar right out of the box. You also can buy a car seat adapter that works with Nuna, Maxi Cozy, and Cybox, as well as a lightweight travel bag. The UPPAbaby Minu retails for $499.99 and comes as you see here. Now, you can also buy a lot of different accessories for the Minu, the most notable one being that you can get a snack tray, which it is the only of these three travel strollers that actually sells a snack tray made for the stroller, which is so nice. I do have a universal one I like on Amazon that kind of will attach to any bumper bar, so I will link that down in the description. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better than nothing. One more thing to note on the Minu V3 is it is compatible with the same car seats as Inglesina, but it also works with UPPAbaby car seats. So if you have an UPPAbaby car seat, that may be the best option for you. And then we have the Joolz Aer2. This stroller retails for $549, so it's the most expensive of the options you see here. And it also comes with a dust bag as well as the stroller. It also works with Nuna, Cybox, and Maxi Cozy car seats with the purchase of adapters. But the most unique accessory you can buy for this stroller is a bassinet, and you can even fold the stroller with a bassinet. So if you live in the city or you're traveling a lot with your baby in that newborn stage, or you just want to use this as an everyday stroller, having a bassinet is a really cool feature on the Joolz. The materials on all of these strollers feel very nice and premium. I will say there really doesn't seem to be that much of a quality difference across these three strollers. The handlebar height is a little bit taller on the Joolz Aer2, with the Quid and the Minu being basically the same. I will say myself at 5'5" and my husband at 6 foot have had no issues with kicking any of these strollers, and overall they push really nicely. Moving on to the canopy, you have a magnetic peekaboo window that stays opened and closed on the Quid. You have one that you can roll up and like clasp that stays open on the Minu, and no peekaboo window on the Joolz. This is like the biggest downside for me on the Joolz. Now, all three of these strollers do have zip out extensions on the canopy, and with the Joolz you kind of get a peekaboo window on the extension. It really is just mesh for added airflow, and you can only see your child if it's in the reclined position. The Inglesina's is here on the top, and then you also have one with the Minu right here. You can see here the best canopy is going to be on the Joolz, followed by the Minu, and then the Inglesina Quid 3. But something to note on the Quid 3, you actually have the best height to canopy for your taller kiddos. Now let's talk seat backs on these strollers and how they will be for your kids from birth into toddlerhood. The tallest seat is actually going to be the Minu at 21 inches, followed by the Joolz at 20.5 inches, and then 18 inches on the Inglesina. Now, the biggest downside on the Minu is the seat is not very upright in the most upright position, which can definitely be a downside for your toddlers. However, it does have a newborn recline that is suitable for use from birth in the US, which is really cool. The seat can hold 50 pounds, it has no rethread harnesses, easy buckles, nice adjustment in the seats, and all three of these strollers do have really nice calf rests, which I think is super nice. Now, the Inglesina, while not having a newborn recline, it does have one of the deepest non-newborn recline, and actually is better than most of the other strollers on the market. it even has a deeper recline than the UPPAbaby Butterfly 2. So check out my comparison, because I do have a short comparison comparing the Quid to the Butterfly 2, but it has a very good recline, even though it's not officially advertised as used from birth. You have nice padding. It does not have no rethread, but it does have super easy to use buckles, probably my favorite style of buckles, and it is 18 inches. It is also the most upright of the travel strollers we have here. Then you have the Joolz, which is kind of the most versatile of all the options. You get a newborn recline, even though it's not officially advertised in the US, but it is a newborn recline in Europe, so take that for what it's worth. You have that in the seat. You also have a decently upright seat. It's the second tallest, so it's just a little bit shorter, but it is more upright than the Minu. I also like that it's no rethread. It has super easy to use buckles, just like the Quid, and it has some adjustment, and actually a super unique way you adjust it, so you pull it from underneath the seat. I will say that that has a bit of a learning curve. At least that's what I found with this stroller. But when it comes to the actual space in the seat, you're gonna have the most room on the Minu and the Joolz, with it being slightly more narrow and not as deep on the Inglesina. Now you do have adjustable calf supports on all three of these strollers, which is super easy to use, and then you do have lower footrests, with giving you the most length for your toddlers on the Minu, followed by the Quid, and then the least amount of space on the Joolz, but I will say it didn't seem to bother my kids. In regards to basket space, you actually have a decent basket on all of these strollers. The Minu is going to hold the most weight at 20 pounds, and you have really good access both from the back and the front. Your next best basket is going to be the Joolz at 17.5 point, and you can also access it from the back and the front, but it's just a little bit smaller in space. And then you have the Quid, which is actually best accessed from the front, but we did take this to the beach in Mexico, and we were able to load this stroller full of stuff, which was really nice. Now, something that's kind of a positive, and this is a weird one, but on the Quid, whereas you don't have as tall of a seat back, but you do have this nice space here that you can put like your phone and your keys and your kids' pacifiers and stuff that you lose when you have these taller seat backs. So a weird plug on that, but when we were on vacation, I really did like that on the Quid. One more thing on storage, you do have a nice pocket on the back of the Joolz. All three of these have easy flip-flop friendly brakes, with them being in the middle, just a toggle front and back on the Joolz and the Quid, and then a toggle with green and red on either side of the wheels with the Minu V3. Now, all of these strollers are compatible from birth into toddlerhood with various accessories and their seats. So the Inglesina is actually going to hold the most weight at 55 pounds. The other two hold 50 pounds. You have an official newborn recline both in the US and Europe on the Minu V3, and then you have car seat compatibility with UPPAbaby, as well as Nuna Maxi Cozy side backs with adapters that can be purchased separately. On the Quid, to be able to use it from birth, they say you have to use a car seat adapter, but I will say it does have a really nice 150-degree recline, which is as good, if not better, than some other travel strollers on the market that are advertising a newborn recline, even though theirs are not as deep as the Quid. So take that for what it's worth. I probably would put my baby in the stroller a lot younger than 6 months in the seat. And then you have the Joolz, which does not have a official newborn recline in the US either, but it does have the same recline as Europe and is actually deeper in recline than the Minu. Now, both of these do have these little sections you can pull out, and they're like a containment for your baby, making like a newborn nest mode, which is super nice. And then the Joolz is compatible with Nuna Cybex Maxi Cozy car seats, and you can have that bassinet, which makes it a great everyday option from birth into toddlerhood. Now, something I forgot to mention on the Quid 3 when you're talking about the recline is you do have really good mesh on the back of the seat. There's like a little zipper panel here you can see, and then magnets, and that will give you added airflow. So especially if you're like us and took the stroller to the beach or a hot climate, I think that added mesh is really nice. You have a little bit of it on the Joolz and none on the Minu. When it comes to push, all of these strollers push very nicely. We have really put the Quid to the test, and it has a very nice push and offers a lot for the price. The Minu is known, I mean, UPPAbaby is known for their quality in their strollers and does push very nicely. However, it does have a slight rattle, which does drive some people crazy, but I've also noticed that on the UPPAbaby. The Joolz has always been one of my favorite pushes. It just maneuvers and does really well on a variety of terrains, but I wouldn't say it's significantly better than the other ones in this lineup. Now let's talk fold. The fold is super easy on all of these strollers and is technically one-handed. Starting with the Minu, it's the heaviest stroller at 16.7 pounds. You have two buttons you push, And then it comes together here. Now, it is IATA compatible, meaning it'll fit in many overhead bins, and it does have a nice padded carry strap that you can carry the stroller with. I get a lot of questions about if this bothers my kids by being in the seat over on Instagram. It does not. Something to keep in mind: for the first several years, your child will be in a diaper, and then after that, honestly, my older kids have not cared. It's nice and padded, and it just fits really nicely in the stroller. The Inglesina Quid 3 is the lightest stroller at 14 pounds. You have 2 buttons you push and it comes together. I often like to grab the bumper bar, and it does stand when folded. Actually, all of these strollers stand when folded. And then you have a really nice zero gravity carry strap built right in on the side. It's very comfortable and padded, and then you can also grab it from the bumper bar. I will say the bumper bar does make it a little larger, so if you're going to be trying to put it in an overhead bin, you'll just want to take that off. It's not officially IATA compatible, but it will fit in many overhead bins. And then you have the Joolz Aer. This stroller also has a really easy one-handed fold. It latches, and then you have a nice stretchy carry strap right here under the seat. If you push the footrest in, it's a little easier to access, and then you can just carry it. Super comfortable. And then this stroller only weighs 14.3 pounds, so just a tiny bit heavier than the Inglesina. You can see that the Joolz being the most compact, followed by the Minu, and then the Quid 3. To open these strollers, you're just gonna lean back on all of them, and then they just kind of pop open, which is very nice. I'll put the bumper bar back on the Quid. Same thing, you just kind of lean back and then pull. And then the same is true on the Minu. Now, something you might be wondering about these strollers: are any of them more low tox than the other? The UPPAbaby is Green Guard Gold, but the Inglesina Quid and the Joolz Aer2 are also both free from flame retardants and a lot of the toxic chemicals you want to avoid when looking for a travel stroller, so really you can pick any of them. So which of these travel strollers is right for you? If you're looking for a travel stroller you can use as your everyday stroller that offers a bassinet and is also going to fit in the most overhead bins, then the Joolz Aer is probably going to be the best option for you. Downside being, you don't have a peekaboo window and the zipper recline is not my favorite. The Quid is going to be your best option based on price. It still fits in the overhead bin of many airlines. You have one of the most upright seats in the category, nice padding. It comes with a bumper bar. It has a magnetic peekaboo window, a nice carry strap, and mesh for added airflow, which is really nice. It also is car seat compatible and has a pretty deep recline, even though it's not officially newborn. And then you have the UPPAbaby Minu. I think where this stroller really shines is you have the quality of UPPAbaby while still having a super easy fold, a tall seat back, a newborn recline, and you can get a snack tray for it, as well as being compatible with UPPAbaby car seats. Now, the seat is not the most upright, which is definitely a downside for some families. You really have to decide: do you need the newborn recline? Do you want the most upright seat? Do you want to spend more and get kind of that more versatility? Ultimately, you cannot go wrong with any of these strollers. There's always going to be trade-offs, and hopefully this video helped you decide. If you haven't already, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and shop through the links below. And if you're looking at the Quid 3, there is also a discount code, so check that out as well. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks so much for watching.